Okay, this is Pat Sheranian. We're with you today, and my guest is Terri Williams. I'm so glad that she's here. If you're on the radio with us, we had a little technical glitch that we're working on. One of the things that happens in a studio like ours, where we have a lot of hot lights and the weather is getting warmer and warmer, and sometimes the air conditioner doesn't work well. Okay, it creates technical problems. So we're off and running all over again, and this is the third attempt. Let's make it. Right. Not today, but all together. So Terri is an organizer, a professional organizer, and I'm very excited about that because I've met people who say, well, I'll come help you with your house and organize. And I have kids that they are very good with space. They're good organizers. But Terri is the first real honest-to-goodness professional organizer. So if you'll get a pen and paper, let's write down the address, Terri, of your website, because you've got a lot of information on it. I love it. It works well for me because I don't have to chase around looking all over. Everything's pretty much on the first page. So let's get this microphone right up close to you, if you'll lean into that a little bit. And tell me the name of your organization, because they're going to write that down, your website.
Okay. My organization is Rise, Prioritize, and Organize. And my website is www.riseprioritizeorganize.com.
Riseprioritizeorganize.com.
Very simple.
Okay.
And if you have your computer available right now, you can go to the site right now and follow along with us.
Yep, that's what we're doing. And so thank you for being with us on the radio, and you're watching us on UtahValleyLive.com, or you can watch on her website, and we're going to pull some things up and talk about her business. But before we do that, you know that I like to find out about people personally, so you have to tell me where you were born and raised and all that good stuff.
Okay. I was born in Inglewood, California. Spent my whole childhood growing up in all over Southern California. Then I went to Ricks College, BYU, Idaho now.
BYU, Idaho, right.
Yes. And I graduated there and came down to BYU, and I've been in Utah County since 1970 and started a family, and life went on.
All right, now you're down where, in Spanish Fork?
Yes.
You're down in Spanish Fork. We're located in Provo, so it's not much of a drive, except the freeways are just crazy. They're adding, subtracting, and dividing our freeways constantly.
Messing up the turnoffs.
And they do. They've got the turnoffs. You have to know ahead of time where you're going, or it's going to take you longer to get there. But we're glad that you've made it today. And I want to talk particularly about the very talent of organizing. And so I'm going to ask you again, Terri, how did you get into this? Because we all think we're somewhat organized. Like, I can clean off the top of my desk. I have my clothes, my blouses and tops and jackets by color. And then my skirts are prints together in solids. Okay, so I've got that much organization going. My shoes are organized. But I have an office. I have one desk cleared, but the rest of my office is in boxes because I do trade shows, and then I bring everything home in a box, and it sits there. I do another trade show and do the same thing all over again. There are no clothes hanging in a closet the room that I use for my office has a closet, but there are no clothes in it. Boxes are stacked. I have photographs dating back to a long time ago, and grandchildren, things they've drawn and colored, and it's now reached a point where it's overwhelming. The last time that I felt that feeling, I was in a fellow that does automotive repair, and everything was stacked there from the day he opened 30 years ago, and nothing had been moved or put away. It just kept stacking, and then you restack the stacks. And I find I'm doing that in the office. I'm restacking the stacks. I have a 4-drawer filing cabinet, and I'm still disorganized. So we're going to make a date. But let's talk to folks about how you've gotten where you've gotten. I want to start with just, where did you decide to become an organizer? Was it all about your house?
Yes. I have 10 children. And
you better be organized.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I tried to be, but the family didn't cooperate.
Kids have a way of doing that.
Yeah, but I collected things too. So I collected all the kids, little mementos, and the kid says, "Get rid of this, Mom. Get rid of this, Mom. Have a yard sale." Well, yard sales are a pill, and and my goal was to eventually have my house organized before I died. that was the start of my wanting to organize.
I love it. And so, out of necessity.
Exactly, yes.
Then you began. So where did you start? In your kitchen, in the basement? Where did you start?
I started, haphazardly from room to room, whatever I could do at the moment. But I took a night class, an adult continuation class with other mothers that were in the same boat, and took the class, went home, tried to label a few things around the house, and tried to apply the principles. And, that was that. And I felt like, I was making a little progress.
Okay.
And then she called me back, the instructor, and said, would you like to be a professional organizer? And I thought, wow, I didn't even know such a thing existed.
Neither did I.
So I took her training course with some other people and certified with her at the end of the course, and learned a lot from her, and have picked up things from her, picked up things from other professional organizers.
Well, and you've got some books here that you've used also. But
right.
I want to tell you, where there's a lack of organization, sometimes there's a lack of, we're going to sit down and read. We're not, because I don't feel like I can read till I get things organized. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
And I had a daughter that could truly, she could create in the middle of chaos. Mm-hmm. She could just sit down and make a poster, write a song, practice piano, whatever it happened to be. I've got to have everything put away. Mm-hmm. I want everything neat and tidy before I start sewing or whatever the project might be. And so reading the book would require organization before I would sit down and read it. Does that make sense?
What you could do...
There is escapism.
Yeah, what you could do is when you're in the bathroom, people have books in their books.
In the bathroom,
so when you're sitting in the bathroom for 5 minutes, read a page.
Read a page. All right, there you go. There's a handy tip for the day. But through all of this, now you've picked up some really good things. And that's what I want to get to, is the things that you're doing. So can we show the folks... bring up a picture on this that would show what you want to as far as one of the rooms maybe that you organized.
All right.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to mention that she did in the ecclesiastical office, she recognized, looking at a bulletin board one day, that there were a lot of names on the bulletin board, but you couldn't tell if they're male or female, and if you were more than a couple of feet away, you couldn't read the bulletin board. And so she has found little magnets, strips of magnets that you can cut and make the length that you want. And the print is in about, I'm going to say, a 36 point, and you can see it across the room, which is really nice. And she did a very clever thing with this. The females are in pink and the males are in blue, and we all understand that. And she was able to take a totally chaotic bulletin board and organized it so at a glance you could tell who was holding what position in that community church. And I think this has just been absolutely an amazing help for everybody. And I'm almost to the point where I'm ready to do this with birthdays and names of grandchildren and great-grandchildren.
Oh, yes. That would be wonderful.
And extended families, like I have all of my children and grandchildren, but I don't have all the birth dates for the people they've married. And so
what I do,
are their anniversaries, and it's just chaotic.
What I have a legal size poster board, a legal size cardstock on my refrigerator for each month with all of my children's.
So you have a separate card for each month?
No, I have one card for each month. There's the 12 months with every husband, wife, child, grandchild's name and birthday.
You can't get that on a legal size.
I write small.
Oh. Okay.
But I have the whole family on this one.
On the board.
On the refrigerator on this one legal size cardstock.
So at a glance you can say, okay, coming up in July, I can see whose birthday, anniversary,
all 20
names.
plus birthdays in July.
Now with 10 kids, you've got a lot going on with family, I would think.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so it works?
Yes.
So you're recommending that we get a cardboard size.
Well, this was a
legal.
gift to me, and so I've just been filling it out since I got it probably nearly 15 years ago. So as a new baby's born, I just write down the name and the birth date,
It's a great idea.
So,
or you could use a bulletin board.
You could use anything.
And you could these are just, this is just as very, you can't even see this, but it says instructions. And
instructors.
Instructors. And it's just a little strip. It's just a magnet, and you type it up on your computer, right? Mm-hmm. Cut it off and slip it in.
In cardstock.
Can we see that? Can we see that? Yeah, okay, in cardstock. Yeah, it's strong enough to slide in there. But I didn't even know these things existed, and I thought, well, this is great. And so, all right, so now let's say you're going to take on the genealogy.
You want me to do, I've got the storage unit one right now.
Let's bring that up and fill up the page with that so we can see it.
Okay, which one do you want?
Any one.
Okay, if you're on that front page, it says, go to my website, and on the website it says storage unit or garage, if you want to use the garage instead. But this is putting up a storage unit.
Can you click on one of those so that they'll fill up and we can see them?
Okay, let's see. That'll show that bigger. This looks like as big as it gets, but there's shelves all the way around the storage unit, so you can stack them as high as you want.
Okay,
you can have.
That should be, you can't bring those up. No, don't. No, you can't bring those up. So it'll fill up a page. If you click on it, it won't enlarge.
I don't think so. There, it's not.
Oh.
Okay, so you can. You know, a lot of storage units are all just stacked up boxes. You can never get to anything again. And
well, even if you have boxes in there, or if you have tubs in there, you don't know what's in it.
Right. So I have everything labeled.
Well, I did label it about that big, and then I couldn't read it because they were up, 10 feet high.
So these are all on shelves. They're all labeled, so you can go in the storage unit at any time, and you can pick out exactly what you want at that moment. Like I have all the Christmas decorations in the front, Christmas and Thanksgiving, so when the time comes for the roaster and all the Christmas tree and everything
That's
like that,
right there.
it's right in the front. Can take it home immediately.
Let's give your website again. For those on the radio, you're going to have to trust we're telling you what this looks like. It is Rise, Prioritize, and Organize.com.
It's Rise, Prioritize, Organize, all one word, .com.
Okay. And then they can see what you're seeing.
Right.
Okay. For the radio, let's go back and describe what you've done, because you have to start somewhere. So you put in the shelving first.
Right.
Now, are these just boards? Do a right click on the photo. Okay, do a right click on the photo.
Okay,
And let's see if we can bring it up.
It's not doing it.
Let's see if that'll work. Can you just use cinder blocks and boards?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
is that pretty much what you've done?
I don't see where it says to make it larger.
Well, it should just click on the right click button. You're talking to somebody that doesn't know.
Okay. Well,
All right. We can't make it work, Ken.
Right. Well, you can use anything you want to for shelving. You can use boards and concrete blocks. You can use professional shelving from like Home Depot or anything like that. Whatever you can put a container in, a labeled container.
Okay, then you use it.
Right.
Okay, so are you suggesting that the better thing to do then is to use cardboard boxes or to use tubs, plastic tubs, or
I like
what would
boxes.
be a good thing to use?
I like boxes over tubs because tubs slope and you can't stack them as well.
They're not square, are
No,
they?
they're not. They're people. We bought a whole bunch when we moved one time, and they're not as functional as boxes. You can get free orange boxes or fruit boxes at Macy's or any grocery store.
Okay, now can they see that? Okay, so
They're seeing
All
the
right.
large one now.
They're
Great.
seeing the large one. Okay,
Click, open it
okay.
in a tab, and then click
Okay.
on the tab.
Okay. All right, that looks good because I can do that. Now I would have. That's interesting. I would have turned the cinder blocks the other way.
Well,
So these
you
are
can
up
do
on
whatever-
end. She's got them up on end so that they will hold a box
Right.
and a good size
And
box.
then, like in the storage unit, so if it's raining or anything, and you don't have anything
you
damaged,
got them up off the floor.
everything is off the floor.
Oh, that's a good suggestion. Okay. Now, can people get hold of you?
Oh, yes.
I mean, not all of us love doing this.
I think it's fun.
Like some of us really don't like doing this, or we don't have the time for it.
Right.
Terri, are you available to go to people's homes and
yes.
give them an estimate and
Yes,
that kind of thing?
yes.
Is there a fee for coming out? And
Yes.
we're just in.
Yes.
If you happen to be in Japan, that won't work.
But I can
because-
do it over the telephone
Over the
and
telephone
online.
and online,
if they can
okay.
send me pictures of their space, what
Then
they
you
want
have
taken care of,
suggestions?
then I can tell them what to do. And so it can be done, over the phone and the internet.
Okay. So is there a number they can call you on?
Okay.
or-
The website, once again, is www.riseprioritizeorganize.com, and my office number is 801-794-1604.
Okay, let me give that again. 801 794-1604.
Right. And if I'm with a client, then you could just leave a message.
Leave a message
and,
and get back
and
to
we'll
them.
get back with you as soon as possible.
Okay. So that's a good thing then. She's can travel around Utah.
Right.
And available here, and beyond that, get information to her. Take pictures. Everybody's got cameras somewhere on some way or another digitally. And so take pictures. So the number to call is 801-794-1604 or prioritizeorganize.com. That'll take you to her website. Let's bring up another picture of maybe a kitchen and what it looked like before and after, if we can do that. And talk about that, because sometimes when you get through organizing, then you can't find anything. So
labeling is the key.
Labeling is the key.
Yes.
And you have something here I wanted to show everybody because I didn't know about it. It's a label maker. Now, they used to have a little tiny thing that went in a circle. I don't know if you remember that, but you held it and it went around and around and you punched letters out. And if you missed one, you could hardly go back and fix it. But, okay, this is a label maker. And do you remember what this cost about?
About $40.
About $40.
Right.
And do you have to put anything in it? Or
You
take
put a cartridge in, and you can put in any size, like a half inch, a quarter inch, depending on what size cartridge you buy. There's different.
So they are available?
Right.
And where did you get this? Is it
I got this one online. I bought it online, but I get the cartridges like at Staples or any kind of a.
Do they sell this on down at the Home Depot or places?
You can get them locally. I got mine online.
Okay.
You can get a lot of supplies
online. It's a
online.
Brother
right
brand, and it's just called a label maker. Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there it is, and you can print out whatever you want apparently in different sizes. Is
and
that
colors.
Right? And colors.
You can
and
have on black on clear. You can have black on white. You can have green, blue, brown, yellow, whatever color you want to have. But you need that contrast, with the lettering and the background. And so, the old ones used to be raised. These are smooth. So, and they peel off.
Where's your Tupperware thing that you had? Because she brought something that really I think would work for anybody. Of all sizes. Yeah, I wanted to see this because this is for label making for your refrigerator. And I thought, well, I live alone. I don't need that. But my goodness, what if you've got a roommate? This, by the way, is one of the storage containers that she uses that is absolutely almost, except right at the bottom, it's very rectangle instead of too sloped. Some of them are so sloped you lose space, but that's a good size container. Everybody see that? Okay. And for the folks listening in, this would hold spaghetti, and you wouldn't have to break it in half. It would hold cereal, hold almost anything. Looks like to be about 12 inches high, would you say?
That holds a bag of Raisin Bran or cereal or something like that.
That would be good. And then she's got markers or...
this is for the genealogy part,
and the glue. Oh, we didn't get through the genealogy. I want to do that.
So you want to see a kitchen right now?
I want to see a kitchen, then we have to talk about genealogy.
Okay.
Now, tell me how you're connected to Pampered Chef.
I'm a consultant.
She's a consultant. Okay. And it has her book here with all kinds of stuff in it. So you sell all this? You're a distributor, in other words.
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking for the thing I must have left on my desk. It was a little roll that gives a date and a name and what the product is.
It's inside that box. You can.
Is it in this box?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which I thought would be great for roommates, and we live where we've got 30,000, actually with UVU, probably closer to 60,000 students who are trying to live together in some cases. 4 of them are more in a room.
And they all like to have their names on things.
They do. And I can't get that out, so sorry about that.
Okay.
And then you have a special kind of pins.
That's for the genealogy also.
Okay, we've jumped a couple things. I'm going back to the genealogy.
Okay, here's what they look like.
Oh, okay, so here's a roll of these things. And everybody gets one, and it looks a lot better than just something very homemade. It's got a little design on it, of which you cannot see, but it has a little design around it, and it's in a color. But everybody gets to put their name on it, and they could put it on there in different colors. So the red belongs to Jane, green belongs to Betty, and so forth. And fellas, you need to know this. If you're headed off on a mission, get some of these from Terri Williams, who is my guest today. You can reach her by phone by calling 801-794-1604. 1604. If they take nothing else on their mission except their clothes and this, they're going to be way
It
ahead.
puts the date on it and the content, so you don't have mold growing on something after, 3 or 4
Well, the
days.
bigger thing is that it's in your color. It's color-coded, so you don't grab somebody else's orange juice. That's really annoying. Even in family homes, kids have their own bottle they want to
Oh,
drink out
yes,
of.
yes.
All right, well, I'm going to talk about this genealogy because it is, next to golf, the second most well-known, famous, active hobby is genealogy
Exactly,
worldwide.
right.
It turns out that Utah does not in any fashion lead the way in genealogy. So in the work, it's a worldwide hobby. So
is.
now, help me. How can I get organized with genealogy? Where do you start?
Well, you use binders, and like I have a binder for each surname, and
A whole binder?
a whole binder for each surname.
Okay.
So, and you want to go through, start with direct lines. And so, like, my maiden name is Sarver, so one binder would be for Sarver. And then my grandmother is a Canfield, so I have a binder for Sarvers and I have a binder for Canfields.
Okay.
And then-
Instead of sheets, we're talking whole binders to start
Yes,
with. Okay.
and then they're punched. And you can, a lot of people just like to do everything online with like New Family Search or Ancestry.com and whatever. You can do it that way, keep everything on the computer. But there's a problem. People think, oh, it's on the computer. I don't have to worry about the clutter in the computer. But people get so much on their computers, they literally do not want their family and friends to know what they really have on their computers because they have so much stuff. They take away time from their families because they can't find all the things they've got lost
Okay,
in
so
their
you're
computer.
saying put it on the computer, print it off, and go with the hard copy.
I like the hard copy
Yeah.
because then I can see it at a glance. And like I have the 4 generation, 8 generation, 12 generation, 15 generation charts, and then go on the last person on the 15 generation charts.
Are those some of your charts right there?
Yes. So
So now you have gotten these or made them up yourself?
yes. This is you
That
can-
was 2 questions.
okay. I bought the chart and then I fill it in.
Now you're not. They can't see that. You got to pull it in front of you.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! So this is how many on this page?
This is thousands of people. I mean,
Oh,
if you
my
had, If you had
goodness.
everything filled up, there'd be probably at least 4,000
So
or more.
you know what? If I had that, I'd put it on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I had a friend in Newport Beach that, as you came in her door, a stairway went upstairs,
Mm-hmm.
and she used that whole area under the stairwell, put a tree on it, and then began. The last time I saw it, it had her children. They were just babies, but now they've all married and they've got children, and they've moved. I don't know what they did. They probably took that wall with them. But it was a great way to keep up.
So, and then when you finish the last person on here, like I have, when this chart is finished on one line, then the last one over there is starting another 15
Starting another 15
right? And so
generation.
people say you can't really go back to Adam and Eve, and I found out a few weeks ago I really could, but it's not completely accurate. You go
Well,
through
there's
kings.
a lot of begot
Right.
in the
yeah.
scriptures,
and there's
so you can do-
grandparents and stuff like that. But I had been stuck between 1000 AD with my lines, and then I went back a few weeks ago on a line that just opened up and it went back and back and back and back, and I got clear back to Adam and Eve.
Oh, my
Other
goodness.
than
Congratulations.
it's not completely reliable because you can't say, okay, this is this person, this person, this person directly. There's grandparent gaps.
Okay, but it's close.
Yeah, but it was just kind
That's
of fun.
exciting.
But
How exciting.
even going back to 1000 AD is pretty good, I think.
I think that's excellent.
So,
I think
so in
that's
the binders,
totally
there would
excellent.
be the family group sheet
Okay.
for each of the families, and they would be organized in a certain way, and I'd show people how to do it. And so the chart
So
is,
if somebody just needs you to come for genealogy, nothing else, you're available
Oh,
for
yes.
that.
And
Well,
that's
let's
fine.
talk about what you charge. I mean, if they're coming for genealogy, is that the same price as if you're going to take a
Well-
storage unit apart?
if you do it by the hour, you do better if you do a package, like
Okay.
saying, okay, I want to spend. I want to get this line worked on to this generation, and I can help you with the binders to get through to a certain
And
generation.
so that's a package.
Right.
Because by
because
the
instead
hour.
of saying, okay, I'm going to spend 5, 10, genealogy is a forever thing. You don't
Okay.
stop and say, okay, after an hour, I'm done.
Okay.
And organizing anything, you don't stop in an hour. It's an ongoing process. But instead of saying, okay, I'm going to come and charge you $50 an hour, which is kind of a starting fee.
Okay.
And you can go up to 150 or more, but you really don't want to get charged by the hour. You want to get charged by a project.
Then talk to me about projects and packages.
Okay, project for genealogy would be like starting with maybe a 4-generation chart.
Okay.
And not doing the research. I don't do the research.
Okay,
But
so
research
you organize-
have,
you
I help you
organize.
organize the research you have,
Okay.
where the next time you pick up to take if you might have a month or two off or a year off, and when you pick up the next time, I can show you how to sit down and open up that spot in your binder that you're going to carry on without having to repeat your process all over again. You're going to have all your sources categorized in a certain way, like any records you get, you're going to identify which records you got first.
Okay.
So like you might have a birth certificate, a death certificate, a marriage license, a divorce decree from one person, but you're not going to get them all in that order that they were in that chronological of that
So
person.
you help do that.
Help them get
Okay.
each document that they received in order of when they receive it, and then each person is identified in a master list so that they can be found in either a documents folder, a historical folder like family histories, or a photo binder.
Oh, that would be good. Yeah, that would be good.
So that you might have on your family group sheets here, it would say your source. So on the source you can say John Doe in D. The binder
Okay.
D is documents.
Oh, so you can find it.
So you can find anybody
All right.
instantly.
We've only got like a minute left.
Okay.
So let's go really quick again. I want to give out your phone number so people have it. It's 801-794-1604, 794-1604. And your website is riseprioritizeorganize.com.
Right.
And riseprioritizeorganize.com. And you want to get hold of Terri. Terri Williams is my guest. We've got 1 second left, so almost, or maybe
Label,
maybe
label,
two.
label.
Label. Okay, so label everything. Label your boxes. Get clear containers if you can find them.
Clear is better. Boxes are okay as long as they're labeled.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So, but I don't like tubs. People think, tubs are great, but they're slanted and they don't stack as well. You could find maybe some clear tubs that stack straight, but I haven't, and I prefer boxes or
Okay.
things that are stacked
when
up
you
straight.
go into someone's home, so you estimate what it's going to cost, and then do you tell them what kinds of things they need? Do you go get them for them and bring them in?
I can bring them to them if they want. They can
Okay.
have them on their own. They can buy them on their own, whatever their choice and need and budget
And
is.
so then, you figure out the package for that
Right.
particular kitchen or bathroom or
Right.
office or whatever it might be. And of course, you do this professionally with professional offices, people in high-rise buildings and so
Right,
forth. How about moving furniture and
Oh, yes.
organizing rooms? You do all of
I don't
that?
do the physical work. I am insured. If I move a table and it scratches the floor or something, I am insured. But I have help that helps move things.
you have people that come with you.
Right. Yes.
So you have an organization. I love it. She has gotten herself organized and certified and ongoing. I'm totally impressed with you, Terri. I think this is such fun because I don't do any of that. And so we, as I said, at the top of the half hour, we're going to get together. Let me give information again. Her phone number is 801-794-1604. And her website is, if you're still using www.riseprioritizeorganize.com. And we need to do this again because we haven't covered all the information. I wanted to talk about organize your own office for success, organize your home in 10 minutes, get rich organizing, that create a business for yourself at home. If you like organizing, you definitely want to get in touch with Terri, and she can kind of guide you through the ropes and get it all done. I just can't believe it. And she's about 5 feet tall, maybe a little bit more. Less. 4'11" or something. Is that where you are?
I'm about 4'9 3/4.
4'9 3/4. We're off the air. Thanks for being with us today. This is Pat Sheranian and Terri Williams wishing you a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.